This is a very special proclamation. Congressman Bill Pascrell had shared that Mayor James Anzaldi is a Republican. And that is not in any way the unique thing about that. When he shared that his support of him goes beyond party, because when you have good leaders, you appreciate them. It doesn't matter their affiliation. We want to see individuals that fight for communities. I want to tell you personally, in my time in government and in politics, I have found very few people who I can consistently look up to in terms of their character and their conviction. Individuals who will say what they mean and mean what they say. They will not hold back and will fight for what they stand for. Since the moment I've known Mayor James Anzaldi, I have seen a man who is consistently working for the people. I've seen him at sports events. I've run into him at local businesses. I've seen him represent every single community in Clifton. I always joke with him, Mayor, you were born in Passaic, that makes you from Passaic. He responds back to me, there was only one hospital, I didn't have any choice. We have a hospital in Clifton. I go, it doesn't matter, on a technicality, you're more Passaic. He tells me about his family and where they were, and here in Passaic, and being part of St. Anthony's of Padua. I tell him, I went to St. Anthony's, that's where I was as a child, and as much as I try to share a connection, he goes, it wasn't the same St. Anthony's that I had. He's great at joking with you, and that's what makes him so endearing. He will throw 6 jabs at you before you even notice you got hit. But if somebody else is trying to hit you, he will be the first to stand up and defend you. I was so proud to meet with Mary Ann and say that Mayor James Anzaldi would be a wonderful person to honor here, because his representation of the community goes beyond party. It is exactly what you would expect of a public servant. It is said that politicians work hard for the next election, but a statesman works hard for the next generation. I have seen Mayor Anzaldi work hard for the next generation of children, of families, not only in Clifton, but for our great county. I've been present with him at meetings and press conferences, where as he walks up, he goes, oh no, another one of these cameras and speeches. So you can imagine how much he's enduring right now, hearing another speech. But he was so generous with his time. And when he gets to the mic, he talks about what is best for residents, what is best for taxpayers, what is best for the future. Whatever label he would have chosen to represent, Republican, Democrat, Independent, any party, he would have still been one of the greatest mayors this state of New Jersey has ever seen. I'm going to read this proclamation into the record, and I know it will be seen on social media as we have the cameras on. Whereas James A. Anzaldi was born in the city of Passaic. I'm not sure if the mic was on, I'm gonna repeat that. Whereas James A. Anzaldi was born in the city of Passaic, New Jersey, zip code 07055. None of that was in the pocket. And has lived in Clifton all of his life. He attended Clifton Public Schools and received his degree in political science from Fairleigh Dickinson University. James A. Anzaldi has been involved in numerous civic, charitable, and religious causes. And whereas he was first elected as a member of the Clifton Municipal Council in 1978, becoming the youngest councilman ever elected in city government. That record still stands. Whereas in 1990, James A. Anzaldi began his first term as mayor of Clifton. In 1994, he was re-elected with the highest percentage of votes in the city's history. And in 1998, James A. Anzaldi was re-elected, becoming the first 3-term mayor in city's history, and subsequently was re-elected in 2002, 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2018. And on July 1st, 2022, he started his 33rd year as mayor of the city of Clifton. At present, James A. Anzaldi is the longest serving mayor of any major city of 50,000 or more population. And whereas James A. Anzaldi is one of the 2 trustees of St. Paul Roman Catholic Church and a member of the St. Mary's General Hospital Board, he was honored with the Diocese of Paterson Vivere Christus Award. And whereas James A. Anzaldi is an active member of the New Jersey League of Municipalities and a past president, he was inducted into the New Jersey State highest level of Mayors of Hall of Fame and Public Officials Hall of Fame. And whereas James A. Anzaldi is active with the City of Clifton Picnic and Youth Week committees, Safety Town, and the annual Independence Day celebration with fireworks, he directs the annual Christmas Eve Santa Float Ride and is a member of the Boys and Girls Club Board of Trustees and a member of the Downtown Clifton Association. James A. Anzaldi is also a member of the Knights of Columbus, Clifton Rotary, Elks, and the Italian American Family Association, as well as an honorary member of the Holy Rosary Men's Club in Passaic. And whereas in 2017, the City of Clifton Municipal Council named the city's newest and largest park, James Anzaldi Park. Let's give that a round of applause. In his honor, now therefore, I, Hector C. Lora, Mayor of the City of Passaic, along with our council and our commissioner, Mary Ann Capersi, in recognition of National Italian American Month, honor Clifton Mayor and Passaic-born, that's not in there, James Jim Anzaldi for his dedication and contribution as an outstanding public servant for over 30 years. Someone I'm proud to call friend and mentor, Mayor James Anzaldi.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here in Passaic. It's my parents' hometown. My grandparents first came here long time ago, over 100 years ago. St. Anthony's was a central part of their life. My parents were there their whole life. They grew up there as teenagers. It was just a wonderful place. And of course, we graduated and we went to Clifton, New Jersey. By the way, I was in Passaic 3 days. Because back then, when you had a baby, you stayed in the hospital for 3 days. My sister made the record, but I think she was home in 20 hours. My mother didn't want to stay in the hospital. My mother and father did a very wise thing after the war. Many soldiers came home to Passaic, and my father got a job before the war in the post office, and they were tied to Passaic, but they bought a lot, 50 by 100 lot on Day Street in Clifton, New Jersey, and built a house. And it's headquarters, the house I was born into, and the house I've lived in my whole life. And it's such a proud thing to be able to be part of that life in Clifton. But we did have roots in Passaic, but we also had roots in 4 little villages in Sicily, Italy. And they made up our lives. And my grandparents, my great aunts and uncles, they taught us so much in life. And that was our Italian roots. And I wish that everybody could have that same education that they gave us, because they were wonderful, wonderful people. And I just want to tell you just a short story from my grandpa, who we were lucky to have until I was 25 years old. My grandmother had died, and I remember just joking with him. I said, "Hey, Grandpa, you want to go over there to see the village?" Because nobody from my family ever went back. America was their place. And my grandfather just looked at me. He says, "Get the hell out of here, kiss the ground of America." And it was amazing to hear that. But I also said to him, I said, "Hey, how about Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, Frank Sinatra? Oh, those are all good people." So there is a way to still celebrate your culture and your traditional things that are part of your heritage. But there's also a way to follow that wonderful motto of America, E pluribus unum. From many, we are one. And if there's anything I've tried to do for these last 33 years in Clifton, is to make sure everybody's one. And I know there's some people that don't believe in it. There's the xenophobes and many other nasty things. But I think we've done a pretty good job, and I think we've brought people together many times in a flag raising like this in front of City Hall. So I thank you, Mayor, and everyone for honoring me this way. Everybody knows I'm not too big on these honoring things, but I guess I have to get used to it for another, whatever it is, 90 days. So God bless you all. One thing I want to say is, God bless America. God bless America.
For those of you who don't know, Mayor Anzaldi is actually retiring. He is not running for re-election, and he is finishing this term. So we are so very proud of his service.